Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally, I like to teach you stuff myself, but there are 5 YouTube tutorials that I found over the years that have been so helpful to me, and they're so good already that there's no way I could possibly make them any better. So today, think of me as your curator as I take you through my top 5 YouTube tutorials that you have to see. Have you ever wondered how to superimpose a video or an image into another video or image? Like this television, like this laptop, or this phone. It's a pretty nifty little trick, and I actually use it a whole lot more than I thought I would. And I never would have learned how to do it if I hadn't found this awesome little video made by Peter McKinnon like 3 or 4 years ago called Do You Even Know How to Corner Pin? I think this video is great because it's short, it's easy to follow, and corner pinning is something that's very simple to do once you learn how to do it, but it can elevate your videos and it can really save your butt in a situation where something that you recorded one way has to change later down the road. And believe me, if you're doing client work, that's something that you're going to have to deal with because things can change up until the literal second that your video goes live. If you're not fortunate enough to have a camera with dual ISO like the A7S III or the FX3, which I think is probably a fair amount of us, I think you're really gonna like this next video by Josh Yeo of Make Art Now called The Best Low Light Settings for the A7 III. Don't worry, it will work just fine for those of you with the A7C. And believe it or not, I actually put this picture profile to the test on my little ZV-1 with the 1-inch sensor, and I was shocked. I was absolutely blown away by how well this works. As long as you have a defined light source around, and I don't mean an expensive studio light, I'm talking a lamp, a light post outside, the full moon, you can literally record in the dark. It's incredible. I mean, look at all of this detail. It was completely dark at this point. Now, if you get far away from your light source and you're just in kind of that muddy ambient zone, it starts to fall apart. But here it was completely dark at this point, and I was probably a good 8 feet away from the lamp in the dog park. A lot of the events that I work on take place either at night or so early in the morning that the sun hasn't even come up yet. So this has been one of the most useful videos that I have found to date. Color grading drone footage can suck really bad, especially if you're new to color grading, and even more so if you are trying to grade something that was filmed in D-Cine-like or D-Log, because it's super desaturated, and if you don't know what you're doing, everything falls apart quickly, and before you know it, you're sobbing into your keyboard. This next video that I very nearly almost skipped over from DJI not only teaches you how to grade footage from the Mavic Air 2, which don't worry, for those of you that have other drones from DJI, this also translates quite well to any other type of drone, but it is literally a masterclass in how to color grade, period, in Premiere Pro. Seriously, I have watched so many hours of videos trying to teach me how to color grade, and this one shows me things that none of them have ever dreamed of. This is a video that I have bookmarked, and I pull it up anytime I have trouble grading a video or if I just want a refresher, because there's a lot of things that I might not do every time, but that are really helpful if I'm wanting to do something a little bit more advanced. If you're new to gimbals, then I am sure that you have experienced the pure frustration of trying to learn how to balance one. And it gets better, I promise, but you still have to learn how to do it to begin with. And this video, and I'm gonna butcher his name here, so give me some grace, from Sidney Diongzon, is one of the best that I've found. He keeps it short and sweet. He doesn't give you any extra information or use really weird high-level jargon that you don't care about. And what he does that's really unique here is he's strapped an action camera to his forehead so that you can see everything he's doing from a first-person view, as if you are literally balancing it yourself. And don't worry, even if he's not using the same gimbal as you, when it comes to balancing, a gimbal is a gimbal is a gimbal. Even if they don't look the same rules apply. So make sure you bookmark this one too. Any normal gimbal anyway. And this next video, it's just pure gold. For all of you out there who are editing on an older computer that's maybe not super powerful, or you've decided to start using large, high-resolution footage and it's bogging your computer down, you should be using Proxies. I avoided using Proxies for so long because I thought that they were scary and I thought they were going to be hard to use. And you know what? I was missing out because it turns out they're not scary at all, they're not difficult to use, and they're going to speed up your workflow by, I just can't even quantify it. Like, I can't even give you a number. All I can tell you is that it's just so much faster to edit because the files that you're going to end up using for playback, which is your proxies, are so much smaller than the full-size files that are going to be rendered out for your final product. And if any of this sounds confusing, don't worry, because Javier Mercedes is going to explain it all to you. Now, if you like this video, make sure you check out this how-to that is actually taught by me this time, where I show you my favorite hack right now of making super easy time lapses that look great and won't bog down your computer. They're almost as good as Proxies.